Hey, it's Jag.
Yeah.
One of the things that I need to make for this winder is a clamping plate for humbucker and P90 bobbins, and that is to hold the bobbin for a humbucker or P90 on the actual bobbin plate. Fender style single coil pickup flatwork has a little hole right in the center of the flatwork that you can put the live center up to push the bobbin against the bobbin plate. But humbucker bobbins and P90 bobbins don't have that. In the plans, Chris suggests using a 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch aluminum bar stock to make the plate. I have this offcut piece left from when I cut the aluminum for the sides of the cabinet, and it's exactly the same width as a humbucker bobbin. So I'm going to use this to make that plate. So that's the plate made for the bobbin holder for humbucker bobbins. And the main purpose of this plate is just that it can go into the bobbin like this, and it has a little divot right in the exact center for the live center to hold the bobbin against the bobbin plate. One of the things that Chris suggested in his plans was using a couple of machine screws to go in the outside 2 holes for the bobbins. I had these little nylon screws, and I figure that was a good substitution to make because they're plastic or nylon. They won't scratch or mar the bobbins. There is the plate all cut and made. I've got a little piece of neoprene on the other side. It's 1/8 inch thick aluminum as opposed to the 1/4 inch that is recommended in the plans, and I don't think it's really going to make any difference. The nylon screws fit perfectly into the bobbin holes. There's very little play in that bobbin, and the hole for the live center is dead center. I've measured that. So just to illustrate how this works, when you're winding the bobbin, you put it against the bobbin plate. You can use double-sided tape to put that on. That's the most common way to do it. But if the glue on your tape isn't quite strong enough, or your bobbin is really off kilter in terms of balance, that bobbin can fly off in the middle of winding. So you use this live center, and you use it to push the bobbin against the plate to hold it in place while it's winding. It has this little crank, and as you wind it, you can see that the live center point is going farther out or coming back. As I say, for single coil flat work, there's already usually a hole in the center of the flat work, and if there isn't, you can put a little divot there because single coils will always have a coil cover, so you won't see that little divot. But you don't want to do that on a humbucker in particular. You may not want to put a cover on, and so you don't want to have this little hole in the center of the coils. I suppose it wouldn't look bad, but it would kind of look out of place. Chris suggested this for humbucker coils and P90 coils. I don't really think you need it for P90 coils, and for the same reason as you don't need it for Fender style single coils. The flatwork always goes under a pickup cover. So I really was only concerning myself with making this for humbucker bobbins. The point for the live center fits and will not wander. And when we're winding our coil, it will hold everything together just like so. The next thing I need to do is make the little mounting bracket that will hold the photo interrupter over the bobbin plate. The instructions say to use a galvanized 1.5 inch corner angle. I have a bunch of these little angle mount things. I don't even know really where they came from. So I'm going to make one out of this. I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to bend it right here. The reason is I've already got a long oval hole here that the screws can go through to mount it to the plate, and I can slide it up and down to fine-tune the placement of the photo interrupter. So I'm just going to cut that down and bend it off camera, and I will be back shortly. It worked out really well. I've got lots of play in this mounting slot for moving this up and down, so I should be able to get the photo interrupter adjusted exactly right. The sensor needs to actually see through these windows as this turns. So far it's looking good. So the next thing that I need to do is make the block to mount the live center. The live center needs to push the bobbin right to the center of the spindle on the coil winder. So of course the live center is obviously shorter than that, so I need to make a block spacer to put under here to raise it up to that exact right height. The point of the live center is 1 2/32 of an inch up from the bottom of its base, or in other words, when I have it sitting here on the platform, it's 1 2/32 of an inch to the center of the point. I know that 2/32 is a 16th, but we're measuring in 30 seconds to the center of this spindle, which is actually 2 inches and 25/32 of an inch to that center. I need to make a block that is 1 2/32 of an inch shorter than 2 25/32 of an inch. In other words, I need to make a block that is 1 23/32 of an inch tall. So I will be doing that next, and again, I'm going to do that off camera. You've seen people cut plenty of blocks of wood. I cut the riser block for the live center. Also, while I was at it, I cut the block for the tensioner column and the little block to go on top of the traverse to hold the wire guide. That's all of those wood pieces cut now. I just have to fit them and mount the parts to them, screw them down, and we're done for the day. The live center needs to meet up right in the middle of the bobbin plate, and it's looking like it's pretty much bang on right now. It might be a little bit high, but once I tighten it down with the screws, that'll bring it down just a hair, and it should be lined up really well. I'm just going to make sure I have enough travel on the live center, and definitely do. So we're going to get this mounted up. Well, I've installed the riser block on the platform. What I've done is I've lined up the live center by eye so that it centers horizontally on the bobbin plate, and then I put a clamp down so that I can just push this against it, and that will keep it lined up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark for one mounting screw, drill the hole for that, put that screw in, and I'm not going to mark for the other screw until I've got the live center lined up exactly right in the center. That's looking like it's going horizontally right in the center, so I'm going to punch for the other hole, drill it, and put that screw in. That's lining up really great. It does seem a little bit high, so I'm going to take the block off and sand it down a little bit just to get the live center a little bit lower. All right, I sanded that down and got it really close to centered vertically. And then what I did was I used just a little piece of painter's tape to act as a shim at the back of the live center here. It was still just a little bit high, and that just tilted it forward enough. From what I'm seeing here, it's perfectly centered. I'm really happy with how that's lined up. I don't think it could be much better. Next, I need to mount the traverse and then make the wire guide and put it on the block and then mount the block to the traverse. That's the traverse installed. Had a few hoops to jump through on that. I didn't have any nuts and bolts that were small enough to go through these thin slots, so I actually drilled out some bigger holes in the slide itself. And same for where the wire guide is going to go. I've got that all mounted, everything's screwed down, it's nice and tight. The traverse is free to move. One more thing still to do, and that is to mount the tensioner column. So I have the block. I need to drill a 1/2 inch hole all the way through, and then I need to drill a hole for a insert and a screw to tighten the rod in. I also have to cut the rod down. This is a 24-inch rod, and I think it needs to be cut down to 18 or 16 inches. Doughhead bought hardened steel rods, so there's no way I'm getting through that with a hacksaw. I'm just going to leave it at 24 inches. The tensioner can just slide to wherever I need it. Sometime down the road I'll get a cut-off wheel or something and cut it, but I'm just going to leave it this long for now. I don't think it's going to be a problem. A good day's worth of work. I got the riser and live center installed and centered to the bobbin plate. I got the mounting bracket for the photo interrupter made and installed. I got the traverse installed and the mounting bracket for the tensioning guides, and I got the tensioner rod installed. So overall, got a lot done. Next week we'll be back in the electronics shop, and barring anything major going south, I should have this completed. I'll do a test run. I won't be winding any pickups in the next episode, but I will test it, make sure everything's working. Video after that, I should be winding some pickups. So like always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check out my band One Soul Thrust. We now have all 4 of our albums over on our YouTube channel available for free streaming, so check that out. Especially if you're a fan of 70s style classic rock. Until the next video, we'll see you.